In 1983, Gene Simmons crossed paths with Shannon Tweed amid the opulent chaos of the Playboy Mansion. It spanned 28 years before he wed her, yet their 2011 union transcended mere romance. It served as a veil over a brewing catastrophe that nearly shattered his lineage. Freshly unearthed clips from their reality series exposed dialogues shrouded from the spotlight. His offspring entangled in a copying controversy. Court filings dated 2025 allude to episodes with women on the payroll. The fellow who bragged about betting 4,800 partners now grapples with repercussions eclipsing his notorious escapades. Gene Simmons wasn't christened thus from the start. He entered existence as Chaim Witz on August 25, 1949, in Haifa, Israel. His matriarch, Flora Klein, had just clawed free from infernal ordeals. Born in Hungary in 1925, she scarcely evaded the clutches of Nazi internment horrors. His patriarch, Yehiel Witz, likewise fled Hungary's grip and wed Flora in 1946. They relocated to Israel in 1947, mere moments before the nation's genesis. With British barricades lingering, their history brimmed with anguish, an undercurrent rippling into all that ensued. By his sixth year in 1955, shadows deepened. His parents' bond fractured, chiefly from fiscal barrenness. His sire lingered in Israel. His dam single-handedly nurtured him in Haifa's Carmel region. She toiled relentlessly in manufactories, stitching fasteners merely to sustain them. At times, their suppers dwindled to mere loaves and dairy. At 7, Chaim pitched in. He foraged untamed berries alongside a companion and hawked them curbside. Hardship etched deep. He fashioned his inaugural winter garb from surplus military wool. Frost bit indifferently, yet alternatives vanished. His dam labored till midnight's hush, leaving him to sob into slumber in a hollow dwelling. Academia offered scant solace. Peers tormented him for his otherness. Even in Israel's post-war mending, vestiges of the venom his dam fled stalked him to desks. Yet fortune unearthed an ally. Graphic novels, Yankee imports, Spider-Man, Superman, emerged as sanctuaries. English eluded him, but he devoured visuals voraciously. By 7, he commanded Hebrew, Hungarian, Turkish. Now, covertly, English infiltrated too, all to unravel heroic sagas. In a realm scarred by conflict, where sustenance scarce and optimism flickered dimly, those tales anchored him. His dam seldom voiced her torments, but scars lingered. By 1957, Chaim discerned sharper. At 14, Nazis herded her into drudgery, uprooting tubers under rifle sights. Garbed in stigma-sown attire, she traversed enclosures, witnessing kin dissolve sequentially. Words unnecessary. Her reticence, vigilant shielding, erratic tears sufficed. Chaim internalized the residue. A compulsion to shun frailty, to mask fractures eternally. That annum, 1957, Flora decreed a seismic shift. Penniless, she and 8-year-old Chaim abandoned Israel. They alighted in Queens, New York, destitute, linguistically adrift, kinless. His sire remained, remarried, forged anew. Chaim beheld him no more. He morphed into Eugene Klein, recommencing. Lavish lavatories and pre-packaged feasts astounded. Assimilation clawed fiercely. Flora slaved in Brooklyn's assembly lines, oft 15-hour marathons. Eugene, self-reliant, minded by guardians, navigated alien norms. He attended Hebrew Academy briefly, mismatched. Then public halls. He earned diploma from Newtown High in 1967. Initially, taunts targeted his inflection. Alien timbre isolated. Undeterred, he peddled succulence threshold to threshold. Harvested fruits anew, echoing Israeli hustles. Slights fueled resolve. He accelerated English via broadcasts and sequential art. Pop ethos ignited explosively. By 1959, at 9, he rechristened legally to Gene Klein. Gene evoked Western icons like Gene Autry. He embraced Americanness wholly, despite squalid quarters shared with dam and kin. He adored cathode rays, Paramount, the Ed Sullivan spectacle. Beatles' February 9, 1964, apparition ignited inner blaze. He craved podiums, acclaim, to transcend the void lad. He mimicked fab accents, feigning Britannia for affinity. Maidens warmed. Awkward adolescence churned, yet allure burgeoned. Through 1960s, Gene seized gigs. Butchery shifts, carving flesh. Deli counters. Wages meager at $1.25 hourly, yet hoarded meticulously. Indigence instilled thrift. He shunned spirits, noting elders' slovenly haze. Sobriety sharpened pursuits. Romances bloomed therein. He confessed, leveraging lucidity amid others' fog. Guitar strings summoned. Post-Beatles mania, rehearsals endless. He spawned ensembles, architecting destiny mid-studies. In 1968, Sullivan County Community College beckoned. Education major, associate by 1970, then tutoring sixth graders in Spanish Harlem for $75 weekly. Yet pedagogy paled. He allied Paul Stanley, birthing Rainbow, morphing to Wicked Lester in 1970. Nocturnal club romps, diurnal drudgery. Gene dabbled editorial at Glossies. Translated via juvenile tongues, Hungarian, Turkish, Spanish, from sitters and vicinity. Melody housed his essence. He essayed genres, etched solo tracks pseudonymously. Remittances flowed to Damn, bearing 1945's Ghosts. Then Revelations stunned devotees. Gene Simmons avowed deflowering near 14 in 1963. Newspaper hawker youth. Pre-Christmas dusk, he rapped a patron's portal. She emerged tear-streaked, scantily robed. Wedded. Subsequent events chronicled vividly in tomes. Not mere initiation. In 1970, Gene Simmons fused with Paul Stanley, Steve Coronel, Brooke Ostrander, Tony Zarella. Wicked Lester spawned. Sonic's eclectic, folk rock fusion in Manhattan's mercurial milieu. October 15, 1972, full platter captured at Electric Lady, Hendrix's Forge. Epic lavished funds. Yet A&R chief Don Ellis scorned the chaos, deeming unerrable, entombed eternally. Blow stunned Gene. Soul invested, aborted aborting. Enraged, he and Paul ousted Coronel, fleetingly enlisted Ron Lee Jack, then dissolved. Undeterred. Post-Kiss Zenith, 1977 repurchase of tapes for $138,000 ensured obscurity. Dreaded dilution of nascent grit. Bootlegs surfaced digitally, unveiling She, Love Her All I Can. Kiss revamps sans original nods. That flop birthed Colossus. January 1973, Gene Paul jettisoned equivocation. Rolling Stone summons snared Peter Criss, veteran from Lips, Chelsea. Swift and List. Ace Frehley via Village Voice. Quartet innovated. No mundane combo. Extravagant extravaganza. Cosmetics, Infernos, Reverie. Alice Cooper's Jolt, Dolls Dazzle inspired. Kiss ignited January 30th, 1973, Coventry in Queens, ex-Popcorn Den. Trio attendees, Kin included. Gene exhaled flames on stage inaugural. Unerasable. Sans singles or MTV, fandom fermented via zines, gigs. 18 months. Anaheim Stadium headliners 1974. Gene credited bizarre visages tenacity. Raw eccentricity proliferated. 1973, Gene spawned Demon. Horror reels, Black Sabbath, Comics Boltkin, Batwings Ocular, Pyres and Crimson Expectorations. Magician Taught. Makeup Genesis Haphazard. Gene Horrorbound. Peter Feline Furred. Ace Extraterrestrial. Mirror Frenzies, Birth Novelties. Debuts Scant. Coventry 10 to 15 Souls, Lesser. Yet Buzzword. Pre-web, Youth Propagated. Gene deemed adhesive oddity efficacious. Cosmetics Pyro Crimson transmuted ire to intrigue. Radiance superfluous, memorability paramount. August 1973, Bill O'Coin witnessed diplomat gig. Zeal propelled fortnight deal vow fulfilled. November 1st, Casablanca Pact, Neil Bogart's fledgling. Chris toppled heel high elation. Debut platter, Eddie Kramer helm, February 18th, 1974. Initial crawl, 75,000 units. Undaunted, 300-plus spectacles. Casablanca teetered insolvent. Kiss Odyssey's Boyd. Bogart makeup skeptic till throngs swelled. 1975, Arena's Sands smash. Gene dubbed legendary wager. Early epochs, Gene's quirk. Polaroid conquests. Keys clutched evidentiary. Tally neared 5,000. Interviews flaunted for 600-plus paramours. Displayed brazenly. Grace Slick decried revulsion. Locked vault. Tweed incinerated post. 2011 nuptials televised. Closure enacted. Abstinent narcotics. Yet carnal compulsion fueled demonic flair. Venues ascended. Anarchy theatricalized. Empowered. September 10th, 1975. Pivot. Alive. Unvarnished roar. Pyrrhic howls. Sanguine echoes. Detroit. Cleveland. Wildwood. Davenport captures. May 16th. June 21st. July 20th. 23. Quadruple plat. For M Plus dispatched. Billboard 9. 110-week tenure. Salvaged Casablanca amid Bogart litigation. Alive. Saluted Slade's 1972 live. Cosmetics Inferno frenzy vindicated. From oddity to rock's vanguard. 1976 escalation. Destroyer. March 15th. Bob Ezrin orchestration. Strings. Juvenile chorus. Inverted percussion. Effects. Shouted out loud Hot 131. Gene's God of Thunder abyssal shrieks. Ezrin ruthless. August 1975 demos discarded wholesale. Rewrites. Reorchestrations. Bass usurpation on Detroit Rock City. Beethoven's pathetic pilfered for great expectations. Rehearsals alive. Interlude August 1975. Electric Lady September-January. Gene's hubris balloon successes. Ezrin refined. Gene egos anchored. Late 1970s tours transcended acoustics. Spectacle supreme. Dynasty 1979. June 15th to December 16th. Gene Aerial. Ace Pyrotechnic 6-string amid smog props. John Elder Roebuck crafted wonders. 92 North American romps. Fissures evident. Pontiac Silverdome axed. LA scaled. Chris deteriorated. Narcotics ravaged. Mid-beat halts vengeful. Gene labeled auto-destruction. Toledo finale December 16th. 1979. Primal Quartet crumbling. Audiences familial. Disco infiltrated. Gene's sword. Ensemble plummeted. 1978 absurdity. NBC's Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. October 28th. Hanna-Barbera helm. Scooby Kin. Quartet as Cape Crusaders versus Park Despot. Gene ad-libby Dominion dreams. Mirroring Empire blueprint. Thespian travesty. Devotees despised. Gene basked. Trio disavowed. Set embargoed reminiscence. Cult relic. Europe dubbing Attack of the Phantoms. Gene's vanity inexorable. September 18th, 1978. Quartet Solitudes. Gene's eclipsed communal platters. Eccentric renditions. When You Wish Upon a Star. Cher, Seeger cameos. Radioactivity reveries. Warped whims. Dynasty May 23rd, 1979. I Was Made for Lovin' You 11 Billboard. Million-plus platinum fivefold. Disco taint alienated rock purists. Gates dwindled. Chris one-track percussion pre-Exodus. Fractures fissured. September 18th, 1983. Audacity. MTV unmasking post-decade enigma. Lick It Up platinum million-plus. Heavier, visceral, combative. Rebirth per Gene. Commerce surged. Loyalists reclaimed. 100-plus licenses. Figurines to fair boxes. Merch fortunes. Facades shed. Enterprise soared. 1984. Gene Hollywood detour. Runaway antagonist Luther, Michael Crichton Vision. Deranged inventor, robotic assassins. Demon echoes. Gene's histrionics climaxed self-slain. Banned interim. Chris 1980 ousted addiction apex. Gene deemed excision vital. Eric Carr Fox incarnate. Agonizing severance. Renewal catalyst. 1989. Hot in the shade. Forever ballad Hot 108. 500K plus dispatched. No mascara pinnacle. Softer. Amorous drift perplexed. Metrics triumphed. Shadows. Gene's dalliances derailed. Absences. Silver screen over drills. Carr's Little Caesar vocal swan song pre. 1991 demise. Gene's diversions near dismantled. 2001 memoir Kiss and Makeup unveiled. 4. 800 plus conquest band era. 70s Nadir. Share liaison 1979 to 1980. Pivot to confidant Diana Ross. Festive procurement spark triad. Share unforgiving. People tabloid inferno. Rock's betrayal benchmark. Gene amicable duel. Scars indelible. 1996 Apex. Primal reunion. Cosmetics redux. 75 metropolises. 92 extravaganzas. 1.2 M admissions. $143 million haul. Tensions backstage. Fraley Chris $80,000 flats. Gene Paul $110,000 plus residuals. Litigations ensued. Triumph authentic. Fisher's recurrent. 2006 to 2012. Gene Simmons family jewels voyeurism. A&E sophomore post-dog bounty. Spotlighted Tweed domicile. Progeny Nick Sophie. 7 cycles softened rogue. Omitted bacchanalia. 2008 tape emergence. Paramore tryst. Privacy suit levied. 2011 climax. 28-year evasion shattered. Tweed espoused. Headlines heralded. Staging critiques. Faux Aussie gridiron bid. Yet humanized mayhem maven. Empire burgeoned. 5,000 plus kiss imprints. Pinballs to prophylactics. Sarcophagi. Billion plus revenues. 2017 overreach. Devil Horns trademark bid. 1974 Genesis claim. Index pinky salute. Thumb clasp. ASL love mimic. Metal maelstrom. Lennon-Dio precedents. Swift retraction. Avarice aperture exposed. 2010 ESPN suit. Makeup maven Victoria Jackson alleged 2009 SportsCenter impropriety. Costumed clinch grind. Gene rebutted codpiece impossibility. Countersued vindication. Settlement sealed. 2016 Rock and Bruise dishwasher grope claim. 2017 Echo. 2018 resolutions hushed. Dismissals routine. Motifs murmured. Wealth ascended. 2015 $400 million plus. Merch avalanches. 100M plus platters. Ceaseless circuits. 2012 Rock and Bruise chain proliferation. Vault 2017 $2,000 rarities trove. 2018 Invictus MD Cannabis Evangelism. 2013 LA Kiss Arena Flop. 2025 Solo Jaunts 6 figures Sans full regalia. Tweed Tryst 1983 Playboy. 1982 Playmate Apex entrant. Reputation cognizant. 5,000 Paramours 2002 Tally, yet hearth forged. Nick 1989, Sophie 1992 Arrivals. Gene quipped marital snare, Groucho nod, yet antics alienated. 2011 Joy Behar Exodus, porcine epithet. Polaroid pyre televised. Catalyst. Bimini proposal July 26th, nuptials October 1st. Nick grooms, Sophie honors. 28-year thaw motive. Series Unmasked Strains. Season 6, 2009 Santa Monica Models Snapshot Exodus. Therapy Confessions. Open pact unconsented, ambushed. Gene unearthed commitment phobias, youth scars. Proposal stunned. 167 installments unveiled renown's underbelly. 2018 Facade Fracture. Flora Klein December 5th Demise, 93. Holocaust Escapee, maternal gas chamber loss. Israel, New York, Odyssey, 1958, solo rearing. Gene lauded values forge. Instagram eulogy, ethical lodestar, maternal veneration plea. Tweed Grand Supreme, Stanley fierce affection. Maskless vulnerability. Progeny spotlit. 2010 Knicks incarnate manga bleach pilfer accusation. Panel parallels viral, publisher yanked, homage apology. Backlash lingered, amateur optics, overt mimicry. Gene shielded, credibility dent, show spillover. 2024 bluntness backlash. October 8th Dancing with the Stars guest. Dancer dame's beauty fixation over feats. Chandler Kinney glasses steam quip viral grotesquerie. Creepy uncle, torrent, ABC contrition demands. October 10th defiance, unyielding. April 2025 fan ploy, $12,495 add-on sans fair, roadie immersion. Soundcheck aid, backstage feast, onstage nod, autographed acts. Shameless epithets, economic insensitivity. Sold swift. Veteran patron validated. Greed discourse reignited amid opulence. August 13th, 2025, Trump Kennedy Center nod for kiss. Perplexity, Gene's prior abhorrence. Hate peddler, January 6th Roach analogy. Award embrace hypocrisy memes. Silence eloquent. 2025 solo resurgence. Sturgis, August 3rd, unarmored, 50-year anecdotes. $500 plus stubs, VIP irks. March 23rd cancellations, low yields. Profit primacy over progenitors lamented. Gene ease sans spectacle. Ozzy Osbourne, July 23rd, 2025, exit. CBS Mornings weep. 1975 Sabbath opener reminisce. Genuine ego absence. 70s tour rejection, narcotics taint, image purity. Revelation rocked, in 1983. The rock icon Gene Simmons crossed paths with the sultry Shannon Tweed amid the lavish revelries of the Playboy Mansion. Yet it required a staggering 28 years for him to finally exchange vows with her in 2011. A union that transcended mere romance, serving instead as a calculated veil to shroud a brewing catastrophe threatening to shatter his familial fortress. Freshly unearthed clips from their unscripted television escapade expose dialogues intended to remain eternally concealed, spotlighting his offspring ensnared in a brazen copying controversy, while courtroom filings from 2025 allude to disturbing episodes with women in his employ. The provocateur who brazenly professed conquests with 4,800 paramours now confronts repercussions that eclipse his notorious libertine persona, delving into realms far more profound than mere notoriety. Gene Simmons wasn't christened with that moniker from the outset. He entered existence as Chaim Witz on August 25, 1949, in the bustling port city of Haifa, Israel. His matriarch, Flora Klein, had only just emerged from the abyss of unimaginable torment, having been birthed in Hungary in 1925 and scarcely evading the clutches of Nazi internment facilities. His patriarch, Yehiel Witz, likewise fled Hungary's perils and wed Flora in 1946, relocating to Israel in 1947, mere months prior to the nation's inception amid lingering British blockades. Their history brimmed with anguish, a subtle undercurrent that permeated all that would subsequently unfold. By the tender age of 6 in 1955, circumstances deteriorated further as his parents' bond dissolved, chiefly due to financial destitution. Yehiel remained in Israel, while Flora single-handedly nurtured young Chaim in the coastal enclave of Bat Yam, toiling relentlessly in manufacturing plants, affixing fasteners to garments solely to sustain them. Occasionally, their evening sustenance dwindled to mere loaves and dairy. At 7, Chaim commenced aiding the household, foraging untamed berries alongside a companion and peddling them curbside, intimately acquainted with hardship's bite. He fashioned his inaugural winter garment from a surplus military covering, indifferent to the chill's indifference, compelled by necessity. Flora labored into the wee hours, leaving him to sob into slumber within a vacant dwelling. Academically, respite proved elusive. Peers tormented him for his otherness. Echoes of the prejudice his mother had outrun infiltrating even Israel's post-war classrooms. Yet, an alternative sanctuary emerged. Imported American graphic novels featuring web-slinging arachnid avengers and caped crusaders. His refuge despite linguistic barriers, as he grappled with English through sheer determination. By 7, he fluently navigated Hebrew, Hungarian, and Turkish, covertly acquiring English to unravel those heroic tales. In a landscape scarred by conflict, where provisions scarce and optimism flickered dimly, those narratives provided an anchor. Flora seldom verbalized her ordeals, but the scars lingered palpably. Her reticence, hypervigilance, and inexplicable tears. Heim intuited the indelible imprint on his psyche, an unyielding drive to eschew vulnerability, to mask any fracture from prying eyes. In 1957, Flora orchestrated a seismic shift. With scant possessions, she and her 8-year-old son departed Israel, landing in Queens, New York, destitute, linguistically adrift, and kinless. Yehiel stayed, remarried, forging anew. Heim never reunited. Rechristened Eugene Klein, he marveled at modern amenities like sanitary fixtures and prepackaged meals, yet assimilation proved arduous. Flora endured grueling shifts in Brooklyn workshops, up to 15 hours daily, forcing Gene to self-navigate with occasional caregivers amid an alien milieu. He attended a Hebrew academy briefly but clashed culturally, transitioning to secular institutions, culminating in a 1967 diploma from Newtown High School. Initially, taunts targeted his inflection, rendering him an perpetual outsider, yet resilience burgeoned. He hawked succulents threshold to threshold, revisited fruit harvesting akin to his Israeli days. Each slight, each rebuff fueled intensified efforts. Television immersion and comic immersion accelerated linguistic mastery, igniting an all-consuming fixation with mainstream entertainment. By 1959, at 9, he formalized yet another nomenclature, Gene Klein, inspired by Western luminaries like Gene Autry, embracing Americana despite cramped cohabitation with flora and relatives. He succumbed to the allure of broadcast spectacles, particularly the Ed Sullivan extravaganza. The Beatles' February 9, 1964, apparition ignited an inner blaze. He craved that limelight, that acclaim, yearning to transcend the destitute lad within, even mimicking fab for inflections to ingratiate, charming the fairer sex amid adolescent awkwardness. Through the 1960s, Gene seized miscellaneous employments, carving carcasses in abattoirs, manning delicatessen stations at a meager $1.25 hourly, yet hoarding meticulously, poverty's lessons etched deep. He abstained from spirits at gatherings, observing inebriated elders' folly, maintaining acuity to woo companions. He quipped it was his sober edge amid collective haze. Guitar tuition commenced obsessively post-Beatles citing, spawning nascent ensembles, while Scholastic, laying foundational stones. In 1968, he enrolled at Sullivan County Community College, pursuing pedagogy, securing an associate credential by 1970, even instructing 6th graders in Spanish Harlem for $75 weekly. Yet, pedagogy paled against musical fervor, allying with Paul Stanley birthed Rainbow, evolving into Wicked Lester by 1970. Nocturnal club gigs juxtaposed diurnal drudgery, a fashion periodical stint, linguistic translations leveraging juvenile multilingualism from nannies and environs. Melodies housed his essence. Sonic explorations yielded solo recordings under his alias, remittances sustaining Flora, burdened by her 1945 cataclysms. Then surfaced a revelation startling devotees. Gene Simmons avowed forfeiting chastity near 14 in 1963, a newsboy errand culminating in an unforeseen liaison with a tearful, scantily clad wedded client pre-Yuletide, chronicled vividly in his tome, Not Merely Inaugural Intimacy's Dawn. By 1970, Gene Simmons coalesced with Paul Stanley, Steve Coronel, Brooke Ostrander, and Tony Zarella into Wicked Lester, blending pastoral and electric strains amid Manhattan's eclectic auditory tapestry. October 15, 1972, witnessed their opus captured at Electric Lady Studios, Hendrix's Legacy, bankrolled lavishly by Epic Records. Yet, A&R overseer Don Ellis abhorred the eclectic chaos, deeming it unairable, consigning it to obscurity. The rebuff stung profoundly. Gene and Paul ousted Coronel, fleetingly enlisted Ron Lee Jack, then dismantled the outfit. Undeterred, post-Kiss ascendancy, they expended $138,000 in 1977 reclaiming those reels to forestall dissemination, safeguarding their nascent rugged ethos. Bootlegs eventually surfaced, unveiling tracks like She and Love Her All I Want, later repurposed sans original attributions. From those ashes arose grandeur. January 1973 marked Gene and Paul's rejection of concessions, recruiting drummer Peter Criss via Rolling Stone classifieds from prior outfits like Lips and Chelsea. Ace Frehley joined through Village Voice solicitations. This quartet birthed an unprecedented phenomenon. Not conventional rockers, but an extravagant theatrical onslaught incorporating cosmetics, pyrotechnics, and mythic flair, drawing from Alice Cooper's Jolt and New York Doll's flamboyance. Their debut erupted January 30th, 1973, at Queen's Coventry, formerly Popcorn Club, with scant attendance, largely paramours, yet Gene's inaugural onstage conflagration etched indelibly. Devoid of chart smashes or video rotations, grassroots buzz via zines and performances burgeoned. Within 18 months, they headlined Anaheim Stadium in 1974. Gene attributed the adhesive, bizarre visage to mnemonic potency, primal, eccentric, viral. In 1973, Gene incarnated the Fiend, channeling macabre cinema like Black Sabbath and ink-bound antiheroes such as Black Bolt, adorning ocular bad appendices, mastering pyromancy and sanguine expectoration via tutelage. Initial cosmetic forays lacked blueprint. Gene embraced terror, Peter feline features, Ace extraterrestrial motifs. They mirrored frenzied Dobbs birthing novelty. Early convocations drew paltry dozens at Coventry, 10 to 15 souls, yet evangelism proliferated pre-digital. Gene deemed it adhesive oddity yielding efficacy. No broadcast requisite, mere memorability sufficed. August 1973, Bill O'Coin witnessed their hotel diplomat frenzy, vowing contractual procurement in fortnight, delivered. November 1st sealed Casablanca Records pact under nascent Neil Bogart.